so na yanko mini ho no sensem ni bebre ba sami agrada ansem manka bi samegrada manka bi code of ethics bi manka bi ana yesi menu A plus so ebe ke kan niam bi Kwame de to dansem hunu ke kan ko na wo ya no hwe nyeye na Nyankopon so uche nua ne ade anu ache menua ni nua agene ne nye abebebom ana abe na bom ni ase kwa wo shada nso chesa asimo hinti deck na yese kwa bo A plus na Ghana fo ntie na fi ya ntete sa ene miseducation
me ante ade bi ase matete se nkrofo se Mahama person of Chief Justice se na be ya obekọ for a third term me pa cho sade ye de mra na ye de
and what they say government communication minister for communication honorable Felix Kwachofo so they better just no kribia sa
onokra wan kan ye Kwachofo so wan kan ye
adena guess what can I say
John Mahama betumi esiki for billion terms mra Ghana constitution e wodi ya media ye nyina betumi constitution no ye say wo pese wo sesa bibi wo mu afa ko ha emra na ye tro ye no ye say justice soa to for verse attorney general ne judgment no otro wo mu say constitution no enye just text to say ne da he dan you are why
me dem say honorable kan wasem me
first year kan wasem a living organism capable of growth into no constitution no e will say enyi enye say attract one and one no so if the president thinks that the term limit no emwa Ghana obe to meet the constitution na call parliament say parliament me feel say Ghana no e will say yi term limit free so udi 100 terms kwana nkofo so mpewa also what transfer development eyamra da ho enye John Mahama de hye say amra no
but for now dear
no John Mahama on meka sasa ba me pese ade no ko obi atrim say nya ye dede say John Mahama petete omu ya lawyer for omu nim nya amra ne ka amra ne say John Mahama feel so pese o tena so biemu a on famra parliament obo ba beto yen wo ho yen ne behwe ade no aka say okay emra no ampa ya change emra na yen say wudi
yifrim na yifrim ne ya Kwame A Plus o kan nyina muni amo yawe obi yen kan sisu bia say the menu A Plus kan yes it is true sir constitution of Ghana cool now then if article 1-2 that is supremacy of the constitution who read the constitution of the republic or say this constitution shall be the supreme law of Ghana and any other law found to be inconsistent shall to the extent of its inconsistency be void. That is the article 1-2 or say this is the supreme law of Ghana so oye mrebia samra must conform with the provisions of this constitution. If any constitution mrebia be no say no constitution if be abobra to the extent of any nebra bono it shall be void. Again offer constitution enam say ye free baby nearby na ye di history so dani project say me won say Kwame ekoti justice soa ne famous quote o make here in the case of a year 24 versus attorney general o make quote famra or say a written constitution such as ours is not an ordinary act of parliament. Dani position here, let me read my Ghana follow. Position here. Or say a written constitution such as ours is not an ordinary act of parliament. It embodies the will of the people. Precisely. It also mirrors their history. Exactly. So the constitution it mirrors the history of this country. History ni say. Emrebi bedri. Kwame Nkrumah declared who a president for life. It declared Ghana one party state. And on the namsuma ku ni ade bebre bai. So the constitution trying to solve that issue. And omudi ashem say you shall have a term of presidency 4 years for 2 terms. And the Kwame A Plus sabe kase. John Mahama betime de mraba. Ni ya pass it. No wako no ayewe. It means you are not taking into account the history of this nation. When Kwame Nkrumah declared one party state and president for life. So John Mahama yes sir. Constitution is not looking at him. It's you. It also mirrors the history account. Therefore needs to be taken of it as a landmark in the people's search for progress. So we fire your history, you call your direction for the progress. And baby, you free bano. Yes, I said, Jimmy Fona so free baby, but Sako Wabra Woku. It's a Dria and Ansidi Wuyano. And to come on Tenasi and Tonko. So Kwame A Plus Becca said, your mama bet me a detemrano. You obey a mendemra. Now what Tenasua. You're free baby, but you won't be paying. And just so fire. Now we are it contains within it their aspirations and their hopes for the better and fuller life. So constitution way, it is not just a constitution. It contains the people's aspirations for better life. Now what was the framers of the constitution, omunim baby a free-ba, say yenya 1960 constitution, 1969 constitution, 79 constitution, 1992. And yamani bebre wo we've amended them. Precisely. Ya yan sakraye wom. It will article 21. Edru baby. Kwame Nkrumah fa eye ria koto. That is bafo akoto ne Jebi dan kwani ademu koto no. Na ye ni bibia under the constitution. A multimede eye obi court for actor a breaching a part of the constitution. It's Yababa doing the question article 21. Says enei obia yamra, obia ye bibi, na say a breaching any part of the constitution. Obetimi akọ under article 21 and 130 of the constitution, which gives power to the Supreme Court. So obe make a declaration to that effect. So first of all, and then the constitution ma ho kwa ma timi ko ekoko sikise o ebi adwomama ye bibi na ye unconstitutional. Now, framers of the constitution, Kwame, omo person omo so be mischief of or china obi sorry enya de wo Kwame A Plus oye no. Ye frame bibi eye basic structure doctrine. The doctrine of basic structure. Because Justice Sowa say the constitution contains the history of the people, you know. Say even obey amend the constitution and you be na bet me amend it because of the basic structure. That's how basic structure doctrine. There is a case in you can say 1973 in India. Your friend Kasa Navadan said there versus state of Bharati. Now omo ye basic structure almost say constitutional certain part of the constitution you cannot touch it because the spine the bone of the constitution it's that means you've overthrown the constitution to come in with another one. So the basic structure there is a case of David Indi versus a Attorney General in Kenya. Tell Kenya 4 years on best constitution constitution. The Kenyan Supreme Court declares so bet me amendia because of the basic structure doctrine you cannot touch certain provisions in the constitution. Now your framers of the constitution among person watching a benya se bobia na adwene nye no say menya a majority in parliament it's one wo ye ni ade no Yanko Article 66. Now Yanko Redie Eka. Now Article 66 of the Constitution and what Chapter 8 of the Constitution. Chapter 8 in a heading and yet the executive. So anything that is said under a Chapter 8, now Article 66 to a person shall not be elected to hold office of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Back Article 66(1). 66(1) on here radio. Then 66(1). So and I'm saying the framers or say a person elected as president shall, subject to clause 1 of this article, hold office for a term of 4 years, beginning from the date on which he is sworn in as president. So Article 66(1) say you to abamount say be president. Obetimi aye president for just 4 years, which is a term. Oko 66(2). You read 66(2). 66(2) say you can only be a president for saya to Obama 4 years and only 2 terms. So 66(2) say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Edientia yempe Kwame Nkrumah when declare no state you can say president for life. It's watching Kwame A Plus say your mama betime de yina banu declare no say there be yempe sa ye history nti yempe biokrati. You free baby nearby. You pay it on shame. Now, on the shame we are. And almost you bet me and your bodem need be a president. No, watching us make declare me president for life. It's a constitution or much your friend be entrenched provisions and then non-entrenched provisions. Entrenched provisions in here day. Or say yes, almost a parliament under Article 290. And what the amendment powers of a year the Supreme so bet me amended. And some person more amended any part of the constitution. Or mon pass mra amended. It for constitution the Kenya. Over here the 527th Act of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana entitled the Constitution. So a act and a passing constitution. And some amendment. It's OSHA Article 8. Article 8. First said they're not ready. It is no longer the same here. It's here the act way. And I amended Article 8. So baby I say Article 8 of Constitution is repealed and the following is inserted. It is a ready Article 8. As I say you're repealing and you're amending with this. Come and read this one. Okay. Now you need say parliament will to me so timi amende. Na mom yem pede Kwame A Plus e kano. It's yanko article 290. Ni yanko hwa de.
Indicates them.
Entrenched provisions, non-entrenched. And a constitution is say, the anya non-entrenched now. And no the what they call parliament bet me amended.
Precisely.
Name or the roadblocks be to ho. Said the beya. Who person amended the entrenched provisions obebre. Chenio. So nya easy say kwa mbeka say, your mama bet me the maraba parliament. Ni ya amended anya no correct. Anya no correct. Now Danny zoom in na menchiro Ghana for there. Zoom in. I say okay, so Danny what about clause 4? Let's go to clause 1. 290 clause 1. Let's go to 290 clause 1. Let's read the clause 1, clause 2, clause 3.
Precisely.
Now 290 is going to show us the processes are open so we amending entrenched provisions. And the constitution was entrenched provisions, you know. The whole of chapter 8. So OSHA article 290 I say amendment of entrenched provisions. Now that Danny Fameko article 1. Good. Zoom in. I say this article applies to amendment of the following provisions of the Constitution, which are in the Constitution. Okay, so then referred to as entrenched provisions. It's provisions here. Your friend no entrenched provisions. And no one mean tamu and call Parliament keke. Now, Osha, I was say, the Constitution, Article 1, 2, and 3. The entire person Article 1, 2, and 3 Gina ho. No obedient me for sanka anyhow. It's because Article 1 and I care about the supremacy of the Constitution. It's Yamakwem will be amended noa. That means obey me in Article 2:1 and also the Supreme Court the power to make declarations when obey the assembly. It's Yamakwem will amended anyhow best say. Article 3 I think the territorial citizens or territorial. Let me go to Article 3. Now, already Article was say, Danny, don't zoom back. Now, I see the following. Okay, a clause 1F. I see the executive. It's Danny for second page in the Tuso. I see the executive, the whole chapter 8. So, me know kasa ofa constitution the whole chapter 8. Bibi account who be an a entrenched provision. The term limits of the president. Who can stand for president? Nina under chapter 8.
Exactly.
The presidential powers. So then be court to me for Nina under chapter 8. And 290 say chapter 8 Nina ye entrenched provisions.
Exactly.
It's your young question. So it's not easy to say Kwame Beka say wait me the maraba and you better near pass it. Kwame Janse munu and so said na this answer munu. You know the law. So you know your mama cannot wake up and say to Parliament. Now, how or say if you want to amend a year entrenched provisions, Article 290 has provided or say the other kind. Says speaker no. Onya bana no cross on person amende and mostly some amende mra. A attorney general and the free executive neba. Now after processes na koso. It's Article 106. Actually the processes have been go through with a year wo person pass mra. Nemo me kodu entrenched provision. Or say even speaker no ya na adwene. Na obosu kim ba ko e wo parliament wa. As we refer Marano, or say a bill for an amendment of an entrenched provision shall before Parliament proceeds. It's before the Parliament be not going to kwaso or kwakwa Samarano. Or say before Parliament proceeds to consider it. Before such as your mama no kwa be na just deba Parliament. Or say it shall be referred to the by the Speaker to the Council of State for its advice, and Council of State shall render a year advice. The bill. Okay, before the bill will be written. So before say Speaker Krabeno, as a Speaker refer a year bill no. Yes, I didn't know person amend or entrench. It's chapter 8, article 66. As a Speaker, the Council of State for. Now Council of State for him. Now, young Danny connects the ancient Council of State for him. We are at the end of Messiah. Or say Council of State for him. We are. Yes, or say the bill shall be published in the Gazette. You can Gazette, Agobi. Say, Uko Saudia, the publishing or Gazette. It's a Muya Madrid, some article 66 now. Or say the bill shall be gazetted for 6 months. Or say shall not be introduced into Parliament until expiry of 6 months. I don't know yet the two or shedder. Constitution the roadblocks be two. Some woman and 6 months. Because you see a resident Nipanadia Woyano. Why can you pa? So until 6 months. Now say expire under clause 3 we are. Yanko ready a sakachero. Was it Saunya ye we are? Afe Kurano after the bill has been read the first time, after the Parliament Speaker, a boss 1, 2, 3 Kim. After the bill has been read in Parliament, it shall not be proceeded with further. Parliamentarians and Mobia Fanasanka. It shall be submitted to a referendum. You can't referendum. Mofamre Ghana phone. Mofamre Ghana phone. If some person Ghana phone will choose. Empire percent your mama etna so netienio but it shall be subjected to a referendum now throughout the whole Ghana and your referendum ketua bi eti wo hwe eye na no na eye nuan mo wo vote ani ade ka se emere bi won beso omoti om ho nyane eno om ayi plebiscite ye call referendum ye titi regency bi akeka ho ye call referendum na no call referendum because eye regency nti the area na affected no ana wo mo no be toaba. But this one, it affects the whole country. So the Constitution is saying that you must subject it to a referendum.
Precisely.
So, now for young kind to us, Article 290, young kind to us. Also, they call referendum. 40% of all people eligible to vote. Omo to abe ye. Senka meno ka say you be 17 million people na to aba nyemwa. Ghana. So 40% of 17 million people must turn out. It is a nipa be ba to aba no. Omo ndu 40% of 17 million or 15 million. Unya referendum no. Now, already a clause 4 na. Nente clause 4 no. Was it say nipa 40% be to 75% of the koforum be to aba no. Eso omo ka say and ye pese yes your mama transfer. Na your mama be 75%.
More fire. Bisebio.
More fire. More fire. It's okay clause 4. Or say and at least 40% of the persons entitled to vote voted at the referendum. And at least 75% of the persons who voted cast their votes in favor of the person. It's 40% of the people to come and vote. It's 75% of those people. Yes, and where you framers of the Constitution, because tetem na fa hin ko si ye ni so ye ni so oni wo kwan abema okro ni mo go bi right no Kwame Nkrumah no obema chen your mama bibiri Kwame Nkrumah no obema chen your mama bibiri ono call try say was subverted the will of the people omutu no
more fire more fire
what's some for no yi ni ade agobi when people feel oppressed at any given point they are left with no option than to rise up.
Precisely so.
And why the people who feel frustrated when your mama memu papa ben go ba former you ni ade as ye sister no akọ president go for class constitution and transfer na your mama enti mon konkoda or try so be subvert the will of the people we will go after him.
Precisely.
And constitution, no, am I a coin say? Obia or try so overthrow the constitution. We should use any means possible to reinstate the constitution. It is a job. Mama, you're not going to overthrow the constitution. We will use every overthrow. Yes. So your mom, yes, we overthrow him. We overthrow him, and we will reinstate this constitution.
More fire. More fire.
So your mama, you're not going to amend the constitution. I'm from Marakwem. That's why you're not going to obey Transwa. We will overthrow him.
More fire.
I'm telling you.
More fire.
No. And constitution, the man pay. So was this will be an argument say obey you here. And yeah, use any means necessary. One tray, Adriana bet me a fashion pantry. You see my coin. Now young article train young ready. No one can say every fan I said that way. Okay, Article 3.4. All citizens of Ghana shall have the right and duty at all times to defend this constitution, and in particular to resist any person or group of persons seeking to commit any of the acts referred to in clause 3 of this article, and B, to do all in their power to restore this constitution after it has been suspended, overthrown, or abrogated, as referred to in clause 3 of this article. So constitution is said, so your mama you're not going to obey your BBI constitution. We should overthrow him. You better use any means. Why? Obia member what did Your Excellency, thank you very much. We shall see you another time. Bye-bye. Also we are not going to see Nagana for you will be a young one answer. Miss Oku member Magana yes America. Ghana yes still I would do we and what they are doing. What per biatna. What do you eat a week? It would have one year Berman Chobia. Bobby, it's Mungancha Kwame A Plus. Janko Semno do. We are honorable. So when you're the normal, we are honorable. Janko Sam Kwame, the other million who Janko Sam honorable. Honorable. Street honorable. On this way, street in India. Kwame A Plus, Janko Sam. The other man for not going to. It will be a send home. The one want to me. We are Yamanako. Why? On a Trump, you know, is that Trump? So they say, on a Trump, I was ya. It is saying, young queen, why? More fire. General, and John Boa, when we are. Thank you, Your Excellency. We shall meet again. Mr. President. And when you see and we'll try to best subvert the will of the people. We will resist the process and we will stand on the constitution. You're very resistant. We say we made a country and governor. What do you mean? Higher Cote d'Ivoire. You can do it. I'm telling you. What do you mean? David. Also, what I am not to be. What of you say? They say also what I want to see. Now we have a frozen as a woman. Or make sure the bench about 1 year. We almost see a young crew. When you lose the will of the people, and then check who good will you have been raised. Code of conduct.